What's up, guys? Starting today's video, we are working on the coupe right now. I just got done starting up the Yaris that we had in my backyard. That car is almost ready to get put back together and fixed as well. The only thing wrong with the Yaris is that the front right lower control arm is shot, so it need to be replaced. So we're about to replace that soon. We're gonna order the part today. Whenever that part comes in, then we'll start working on that. We're just gonna replace the lower control arm, and then you know, hopefully Gina's friend really likes it and just buys it off us. We've been trying to sell that for a while, since last fall, and just a lot of people just nitpicking, offering $2,500 for, you know, a car that has low miles, great shape. I mean, the right or the driver's side window doesn't go all the way down. I think it's off track or something, but you know, it just has little issues here and there that's, you know, that's bound to happen, especially a car that's so old. So we're just gonna replace the lower control arm, see if Gina's friend buys it. If she does buy it, I got the hookup on tires because it does need tires, and she just go through me, get some new tires for it, and then it'll be pretty much ready to go. Point A to point B car. So we're focusing on the coupe. As you guys tell, we got a cop kit right here. We actually got the plate and the plugs. These plugs are here from the homie Ricky. He actually let me borrow this for temporary. We're definitely going to be using a different plate and different coils. As you can tell, this one is different from the rest of them. This one's OEM Denso, and these are like OEM replacements. I started it up last night and it started good. Today we're going to try to start it up again and see, and actually let the car, you know, idle and stuff like that. Right now the battery's dead, so we got a jumper right here that we got from Harbor Freight that has the air pressure as well, but I barely use the air pressure because I have a wire or another like an air pressure gun that I use, and it works a lot better than this one. This one takes forever. Correct connection. I'll turn this on and it should be ready to start. So let's go inside and start this thing. As you guys can tell, this car needs a fucking wash, but show you guys the ECU because last night I didn't really have a chance to talk to you guys. But here's the ECU. Here's how it's all wired in and run in. I'm definitely gonna try to put this back up to the ECU spot right there, or I might just leave it like this underneath the carpet and stuff, just so it's easier access, because this whole thing comes out because they cut it. You guys can't tell, this is not OEM carpet. This is definitely aftermarket carpet that's been cut up to fit and be able to remove for access underneath down here, because I was told that to run this setup or to get access underneath and stuff like that through the carpet, it's one full piece all the way, which I didn't know, but learn something new every day. We got power, fuel pump is priming. Another thing I need to just tell you guys, we removed the tint from the front windows. It was pretty jacked up tint, so I just removed it. This side was different from the driver's side. The driver's side was darker from the other side. Driver's side was about to come off. This side was about to come off as well, so I just ripped it off. We still do have a front windshield and a rear and the quarters tint, but we're just gonna redo the front ones later on. I'm gonna try and match it with this front one because it's not too dark, but it's dark enough where it kind of keeps the heat out of the car. So fuel pump is prime, everything is good. Light is blue. I'm gonna turn it on and it should just start right up. Wow, that is the fastest like startup I ever had in this car. This car also need to like stay idle and, you know, stay on, because it's been sitting for a while and I just kept priming it when I was trying to figure the issues out. So there's probably just a bunch of fuel in the fuel rail that needs to fucking just burn up. But another thing I want to tell you guys real quick, when we check the spark plugs, because you got to run certain spark plugs with the setup, we're currently running a BKR 8, so it has a heat range of 8 in here. They recommend BKR 7s, so we might plan on swapping these out to 7s, just because it is a lot well, it's not a lot cheaper because we have to run iridiums with the cop kit now. But we're definitely gonna be swapping over to BKR 7s, and then I think that's pretty much it. Probably swap out the coil packs as well. Just make sure we have all OEM Denso. But as of right now, it runs off of these coil packs. It's just OEM replacements. One's definitely OEM Denso. It's just that the rest of them are OEM replacements. But the homie Ricky said it ran fine on his car, so I might just run it off this if we don't get OEM coil packs in time. Just because I do want to take this car out to the car meet that we're having in 3 weeks from today. But this thing is riding rough right now. It is a cold start though, but today is pretty nice. But as you guys can tell from the light right here, so it has 3 different lights. One is blue, one is green, and one is red. So the green means that it's working, and if it's flashing, it's working. Blue means that it's getting power, and the red means that it's getting power from the ICM. And then another thing that Ricky was telling me, since he has a cop setup on his car, he recommends on getting a bigger fuse upgraded on there. So I know one of the fuse amps were from 80. He said bump that up to 100, and another fuse to bump that up to like 60 because it's like 50 amps. Just because now that the distributor is running off of the ECU, it's definitely going to need more power, going directly to the ECU now. So I might upgrade that later on. We'll see. But I'm trying to see if this car will just stay idle. It's having a hard time right now. But yeah, we have to do a couple things on the car still. Like, like I said, spark plugs are pretty fouled out and needs to be swapped out. It definitely has a fuel smell to it, so it's been running rich. But I'd rather have the car run rich than lean. So there's a couple things that we need to swap out, like the fuel, spark plugs, coil packs definitely need to be swapped out to OEM. I prefer to have it OEM, but so far the car's running pretty good. Air fuel is running really good as well. It's around 10, 11 right now. It's like kind of hitting towards 12 right now. Once it starts warming up, right there it's hitting around 13, 14. And man, I miss the sound of this car just idling, just like that chop sounds so good. But another thing I want to tell you guys about is that this car doesn't have an idle control valve, so it's gonna idle pretty rough regardless. But the idle is a lot smoother. I thought it was just something that everybody kept saying, but the idle with a cop kit runs a lot smoother. Like, this thing is pretty smooth. This thing is so sick, dude. I'm just glad we got rid of the distributor problem, went to a cop kit, and now it's running, way better. I mean, it definitely sounds more choppy, that's for sure. But look, it's idling. It starts right up. It definitely starts a lot quicker than before. I'm just gonna let this thing idle out, have it warmed up, have the chip learn itself and the ECU and stuff like that, just because this car hasn't been started in so long. But it definitely, from my AFRs and stuff like that, this car seems a lot happier. I don't know if it's because of the weather or what, or the cop kit just makes it run a lot better. But yeah, the idle is going to be a little bit jumpy, like I said, just because we don't have an idle air control valve on here. But damn, dude, this thing sounds so much better. I know a couple people were swiping up on my story about the cop kit and how easy it is to install. It's pretty easy. It's pretty much plug and play. The hardest part is to get the chip soldered onto the ECU. And like I said, the difference between my chip and everybody else's is that the Apollo tuning came out last year, and they claim to have the best crank start time. So I'm super glad to get this secondhand. I mean, I got it for pretty cheap, and I have probably the best cop conversion chips out there right now. and just because the crank start time is as close to stock as possible, and my car starts up right away. But the only thing, like I said in my previous video, is that my spark plugs are fouled out, so I need to swap those out. But if you guys do plan on doing a cop kit, run BKR7 iridiums, run Denso coil packs, and that's pretty much it.